When you think about nonconformists or dissenters or Puritans, as they're more popularly known, you have to understand the history. You sort of have to go right back to the 16th century when the Reformation and the period of Queen Mary and Queen Elizabeth, when there was this tussle between Catholics and Protestants. And the Puritans were those people who wanted a more radical Reformation, which Queen Elizabeth opposed. And then in the 19th century, which is when this was built and when Union Chapel came into its own, there was a period of emancipation when slowly they were given their rights, their civic rights, and became more and more in the ascendancy. And this building is really a statement, that we're here. We are now fully part of this society. And they became known for their nonconformist conscience. They were strong on anti-poverty work, they were strong on education, they were strong on anti-slavery, and very much associated with the Liberal Party. Well, we are continuing the heritage and the historical background of this church in the activities that we now do. Obviously, the main thing that we do is our Sunday service, and in our Sunday services we try and link with the reputation of the chapel for being a centre for music and arts. And then we have our study groups, which links to the education. We have a lot of events which introduce social justice concerns and issues, documentary films. It is that mix of social justice and community work. And one of our staff is responsible particularly for social justice.
So my role at Union Chapel involves reaching out to isolated communities as well as, I would say, marginalised communities as well. One of the main communities that I am currently working with is the Eritrean refugee community. And one of the other projects that I spearhead is Culture Cafe, and that involves connecting with isolated members of the community. I would say mostly with Culture Cafe, the attendees are of the older generation. Of course, music is also a very important part of the heritage of the chapel. So we have Union Chapel singers, and they usually perform during some Sunday services, as well as the carols by candlelight. They are our main choir. Also, we use music as a vehicle to promote and also highlight social justice issues. So, for example, last Black History Month, we had an event, and through music, again, we highlighted the issues pertaining to, the Black person as well as the Black diaspora. And these issues we also highlight in our Sunday services.
So the Margins Project is a charity that works with people facing homelessness, benefit issues, and social isolation. And it was founded in 1995, I think, by the church itself, and they set it up as a charity to specifically, provide services in the community in the form of a Sunday lunch club. And we now have the current form of the 2 drop-ins and the kitchen training program. We predominantly support people facing homelessness, but it comes in all sorts of forms. It could be people being a threat of homelessness, it could be people facing benefit issues, housing issues generally, it could be threats of eviction or rent arrears, and all those forms that sort of come with, just generally, I think, poverty.
We get a lot of feedback, and people say that the Margins Project is quite informal, and it gives us a chance to build relationships with people that are quite hard to reach, and so they can come for quite a long time and build up that relationship, and I think that's really important to be able to help them moving forwards.
The kitchen training program provides the opportunity to some people from difficult backgrounds, so it could be from prisons or if they've been homeless or have had addictions, or even if they have mental health issues. It provides that opportunity to come and train in the kitchen environment for up to, I think, 4 months it is. And Iraj, the kitchen training manager, would bring people in and teach them from the very beginning, food hygiene, what's a vegetable, and all those things, to then what exactly it means to work in a kitchen environment in terms of professional standards. So it's mainly actually about giving people the confidence to, function again in normal society, I guess, because most people have come from a very disrupted background.
I first came, I think it was not sure, about 2017, I'm not sure when I came. I was homeless, I didn't know where to go, I didn't know what to do. And back in them days there was Angela who was in charge, so she had a little interview with me and she said to me, if you want to do the kitchen programme, and I said yeah. She goes, I've got faith in you. And since that time, I've done the kitchen work programme. Then when I finished that, I went to work in Asda, and now I've got my own place and done well for myself. Well, it's very important because I met nice people in here, and all the Union Chapel workers are brilliant in here, and they all like welcome you properly. It feels homely here, to be honest.
The night shelter we've been part of also longer than I can think. The network is called Charis. It's a network of 7 churches that share the responsibilities of the circuit. So each night a different church, so people kind of move around. The capacity has been 15 people. It runs between January and March. It's basically inviting someone into our home kind of thing. So it's a very laid-back affair with a hot dinner. And people can use showers and they can kind of, relax, take a load off, have a restful sleep, hopefully, and a cook breakfast, and then they'll carry on their day.
Social outreach that we do, the work of margins and the work with socially isolated people, the arts and the culture don't always seem to hang together so neatly, but actually in the coming together of people and the working together, people have found a way of connecting those things and finding some kind of common identity, which is really fascinating and exciting, and I think it bodes well for the next phase of Union Chapel's history.
We work in a place where people come when they're at their lowest ebb, but for me it offers a place of hope and a place of inspiration. I love coming to work here, I love the people that I work with, the volunteers are fantastic, and it's a really beautiful experience to see people come through the project and progress and come out the other end in a better state than when they arrived.
This place is not just a building, and that's what makes this place even more special, is what the values and the ethos that the institution that Union Chapel represents, and that is one of equality, that is one of diversity, that is one of inclusivity, and hopefully we will continue in that vein to be a place that stands for justice, that stands for, the freedoms of people. So yeah, maybe I'm biased, but I think we're a very special place.